So, a bit of a busy morning with a couple of deliveries. So first of all, we've managed to get the pipe insulation, which is going to go up on this front edge here and then get covered in fabric. And talking of fabric, the POO order arrived. So we have some headliner fabric. I couldn't get brown, but we've got a nice grey colour, which will keep it nice and bright. We've got 2 rolls of the roof sealing tape. It's a butyl rubber tape. We've got some, what do you call this? Acoustic foam, which I'm going to use inside the doors. I don't think it's as heavy duty as I was hoping. But we'll see what it does. It can't do any harm anyway. And then I've got some sound insulation, and we're going to put that in on the roof. And I've put some polystyrene up there as well. And then the other big delivery. Hey, the Thetford toilet arrived. I should point out, none of this is sponsored or anything like that. This is purely me just buying stuff that we need. But this is a Thetford toilet, which is going to sit in place, and then I can measure everything up. But give me a couple of seconds. I'm just about to lay it in place, and you'll see how we intend to use it. And that's how it's going to be put in place. And there'll be a wall panel on the right hand side there. Or flooring, so that we can actually drop the shower tray down to the level it was previously. Right, we're getting on. Next job is to align it all up and take some measurements. I'll be back soon. Okay, so we're all measured up. Let's see if we can now cut this in right first time mode and see what happens. Right, let's crack on. So that's managed to get that piece out. Must get a new blade, because my saw blade is very blunt, as you can tell from the burning. But this is good, solid flooring. Don't know if you can see that there. I wonder what size that is. I'll take a measure. That's 35 millimeters. That's a solid piece of floor, so that gives me some confidence that when I bolt in verticals to hold the walls, because they're not supported at the top, that's going to be okay, because that floor is pretty substantial. Good foundation. Little piece to finish off there in a minute with the sawzall. Just can't get in far enough with the circular saw. Okay, cracking on. See you in a bit. So that piece cut out. Got to say, a sawzall can half make short work of it, just to make sure there's nothing underneath it that's going to hurt. So let's just get the shot of the shower pan in, just to make sure it all fits. So it's funny how your head starts spinning a bit as you start laying things out. And I was just measuring everything up and thinking, why on earth am I keeping these battens? I don't really know, because this is going to have 5mm PVC sheeting, which will create the shower. Absolutely no reason to fix them onto battens. They can go straight against the wall, onto that plywood, 1/2 inch thick plywood, or 3/8, not sure which. The only thing that's keeping it back is this corner with these cabinet fixings. And I'm pretty certain that I can work a way of putting some different fixings in there to hold the wardrobe in place. So I'm going to take these off, which will actually give me about another 25mm of space. So why waste it when you haven't got very much of it to have? Right. Let's just see what that looks like with those taken away. There's the answer. I was wondering whether or not those screws are holding that panel up, but I can see now it's actually been fixed up with glue and nails. So it is not going to move, so that's good. So that's now given me a little bit more space, which means I can push this shower tray right up to the edge, and then the PVC panels will butt onto that, be sealed, and we should be good to go. So if I get the toilet in now, measure that up, leaving a 5mm gap for the toilet on the front, also on the side and on the back, and then just measure what piece I need to come in here for this wall extension, and we'll take it on from there and see how that looks. But yeah, getting very excited now. I do need to measure the distance from here to here, because that's going to be some sort of a chair, which should give us the ability to extend to make a single bed in that space there, with 2 chairs and maybe a little table in the middle. I did find where the original table fitted, because there's the hole for it. So yes, we're going to recreate something similar to what the original one had, but not exactly. But right, let's get this lot lined up, and then we'll start thinking about the access cover for the toilet. Right, so that's how it's all going to go together. And I'll just temporarily put a piece of OSB there just to create where the wall is going to be, and I've got sufficient space there for what I need for the chair. So I don't need to cut the panel, and I'm kind of glad about that. I think it would make a bit of a mess, even though I've got a Dremel. But that leads us on to installing the door. So thank you, Thetford. I've got a nice set of instructions. I've got some templates, and I've got a door. So I'm just going to go and give this a good read. I think I've got to cut these templates out of that sheet, and then we've got to start making some holes in the side of the van. This is going to be fun. So I'll be back when we're ready to start drilling and cutting. Just another little update. So nothing's fixed in yet, but that's how it's going to look. So I need to cut the floor down here, and then I am going to order the PVC panels for the walls here and here, and my next job is going to be to butt an extension wall here and then work out the return. The return is probably going to have to wait until I've worked out what door is going to be in there. Ideally, obviously it needs to come to at least here. Whether or not I've got a little bit of movement here, I don't know. But obviously it needs to cover up this hole in the side of the Thetford toilet. So get the door prepared, lift the base, and I'm going to trim that edge. I've realised now that this edge just slides underneath the toilet and will be sealed, so that's perfect. I don't need to touch that. Drain's okay in that corner, drops straight down into the underneath. And so I just need to trim this door here, and then there is a drain that goes in here just in case the toilet leaks. So I just need to mark that up, and then there's a piece of pipe that goes down there to make sure that anything drains away. Apart from that, I think we're good. Water pipes are in the back here. It needs a bit of a clean up in there. I'm going to replace those pipes anyway with something a bit newer. And there's plenty of access there to get at all the various bits and pieces. And so the electric for this is going to come in here as well. Not sure yet where it's going to connect up to, but we'll worry about that in a bit. It's only 12 volts anyway. Right, start cutting away. Okay, so the first of our challenges. So the template is in the right place for the toilet, which we now need to align the second template on the outside using the holes that I've now drilled through. But I have a slight challenge. Let me show you. See one of the holes there that's been drilled, and if I align now the door, you can see immediately what's going to happen. We interfere with this door, so I'm going to have to move everything along so that it doesn't interfere. And I need to check how much larger. Oh, actually that is the full size, that's okay. So that template is the full size of the door. So it's only a matter, let's leave a small gap there. And how far is that away? Oh, it's literally going to be a centimetre. Okay, panic over. Just re-drill those holes to give ourselves a little bit of room there. And I think it'll work. Well, we're back with 2 holes. And I think this is going to line up. Let me just put it up there and we'll see what it looks like. And now mark it all up, get ready to do some cutting. The scary bit. Let's go find the jigsaw. Now apparently we have to swap over the templates. So there's the new template, mark around it now, and then cut it. Right, I'm summoning up the courage. Well, that's it, all marked out now. And there's no going back because that's indelible pen. Right, where's my drill? Oh dear, what have I done? Don't panic. It's working okay at the moment. I just need to be able to get the jigsaw in to this piece here, but I'm going to have to cut this, I think, manually. This thing is so thin, this aluminium. Incredible. Anyway, Graz going to continue cutting this. I think I've got a couple of wooden joists, so I'm going to build a wooden framework around this to strengthen it. But yeah, we're getting there. Okay, we have a hole. Yeah, that was daunting. Not the neatest of holes, but you can see we've got some stud here and here. So I'll pull some of this away and we'll put some bracing in there. That's coming away there. Oops, didn't quite get that. Right, okay. Yeah, so we've got one here, one here, one here, and there's one up there as well. So we'll put some bracing around it and give it a bit of extra strength, which is my next job. Okay. When you're building these things, you can only plan so far ahead, and as long as you get the things in the right order, it's okay. Because I've just been thinking, I was just about to go and dig out all of that foam insulation and then put some cross bracing pieces, and I suddenly realised I've got 12mm ply on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some screws, a couple of screws countersunk in here to the 4 points, and I think that'll give it the added strength it needs, because this isn't going anywhere, this wall. So yeah, make life a little bit simpler. Those are in there now, and that's going to give it all the strength it needs. So I think next is going to be the outside, and then a bit of cleanup. So just about to install the door. I'm doing it a bit back to front because the inside panel should be done, but I'm going to do that second. I just want to get this up and make sure it's sealed. So this is what we're using. It's the only stuff for motorhomes. Don't be tempted ever to use silicone for the stuff for the bathrooms, etc. It won't last. It peel off within 6 months. So this is it, butyl rubber and Sikaflex 522. There is one called 521. This is the newer version of it, but they both do the same job. And I've added a little bit around the outside there, and then we'll see how much squeezes out. All right, let's get it up there. Okay, so that's the door installed. I could have done a slightly neater job of the sealing around the edges, but we'll clean that up later up. The main thing at the moment is it's waterproof. Now I've just got the panel to do, and we should be finished on this side. And then we've got to do the inside, but that's got to wait a little bit until the PVC arrives, which I've just measured up and put on order. So hopefully next week that'll be here. A few other jobs to do in the meantime. So that's the piece of aluminium that I cut off the outside, now marked out for the door, but see, it's very, very flimsy. So I think before I finish it off, I'm going to get some thin ply and back it with a piece of ply, and then I think it'll give it a bit more rigidity, because I just don't like it being that thin. So anyway, let's go and cut it out and see if it fits. So we've now just put the toilet on the inside, and you may remember that in order to give me clearance here, we had to move everything that way. Well, this is the box, and if I now bring that up against the back wall, I still have enough room with a bit of tweaking to slide the cassette in and out, which means that because this is going to be the PVC backing board, you're not going to be able to look inside the van. And I think we can just offset the front, the inside and the outside slightly, so that we can maximize the interior space without moving the whole toilet forward to fill this gap. That's the theory. Let's wait and see what happens. Yeah, it comes to something when you can cut the side of your motorhome with a pair of kitchen scissors. I thought I was going to have to go and get the tin snips out, but no, a pair of kitchen scissors does it. This isn't much thicker than aluminium foil. Anyway, does it fit? And the answer is yes, it does. But yeah, it definitely needs a bit of support in there to give it a bit more rigidity. So I'll sort that out, finish it up. Excellent, good day's work. Right, on to more. Thanks for watching, and hope you're finding it interesting. From my point of view, it's just a record of the restoration of this old girl. So I'm enjoying it, that's the main thing. And a lot more to do. So come on back soon. See you soon. Bye-bye.